my dear friends, and welcome to English Mania. Today we'll talk about catching a cold, coming down with a flu, or any other virus, like coronavirus. First of all, there are two different kinds of infections. There is a viral infection caused by a virus, and there is a bacterial infection caused by a bacteria. Firstly, there is a cold. It's a mild disease. Then there is the flu or influenza. It's a very common disease. When you sneeze, you have a running nose, a sore throat, you cough a lot and things like that. Flu. Speaking about the coronavirus, COVID-19. This is its shortening. COVID-19. You can say to catch a cold when you get ill. To catch a cold. To catch the flu. You can also use a phrasal verb to come down with a disease. To come down with a flu. When you start being ill. She's come down with a flu. You can say to be infected with. When you have this disease. For example, she is infected with the coronavirus. You can also say to test positive or to test negative for a disease. For example, he has tested positive for the coronavirus. President Trump tested negative for COVID-19. There's another expression about testing. The test came back negative. So you don't have the disease. The test came back negative. Now, speaking about people, there are patients. A patient. A patient is a person who receives medical care, who is sick. There's a doctor or a physician, the person who helps other people to get well. Doctor, physician. There is also a nurse who helps the doctor or the physician. A hospital is a place where patients get treatment and are taken care of. Now, you can go to the hospital. You can skip there and simply say, go to hospital. You can use a different preposition to go into the hospital. To spend a week in a hospital. Last year, I spent 2 weeks in a hospital. If you feel terrible, you can call an ambulance. To call an ambulance. We need to call an ambulance. You can also call a doctor. Simply give him a call. To talk. Or you can call in a doctor so that the doctor would come to your house. Their child was really ill, so they called in a doctor. To be in an intensive care unit, there's another expression when things are really bad. To be in an intensive care unit or to be in an intensive care ward. A ward is a room where you stay when you are in a hospital. There are 3 people in my ward. An intensive care ward or unit is a place where people are treated when they are feeling terrible, so when it's really bad. Now, a very important term here, a quarantine. You can say to be under quarantine or to be in quarantine. We can also use the verb to put in quarantine or to put under quarantine. The government makes the decision if we talk about some massive lockdown. To put under quarantine. In face of the pandemic situation of the COVID-19, the government of the United States of America decided to put most of its cities under quarantine. You can also say to tighten quarantine measures, to make them stricter. To impose or institute a quarantine, when you make it happen. And to raise the quarantine means to stop it. To be quarantined. This word can be used as a verb. You can say a home quarantine or a 2-week quarantine. We are under a 5-week quarantine. Speaking about general vocabulary, here we can also use 2 adjectives, to be sick and to be ill. They are a little bit different and I'll devote a separate video to them, but in most cases they are interchangeable. When you are feeling not well, you can say, I feel ill. I feel sick. However, here be careful. In Britain, I feel sick means to vomit in most cases. I think I'm gonna be sick. To pick up a bug. I think I've picked up a bug. I'll talk about different symptoms of a cold or a flu in a separate video. But that's it for today. I hope that you studied some new vocabulary. And most of all, I hope that you are feeling well and you haven't come down with a flu or a cold or coronavirus. Please stay healthy. I send my love to you. I send my strength to you. Cheer up. Everything is going to be just fine. Stay healthy.